Bonjour, welcome back. It's your boy Snake Venom S to the V, and today we have a donation request for Stromae, filsdejoie, and I'm very excited about it. So thank you very much to the person who donated. I very much appreciate it. I am looking forward to this, especially after seeing Stromae's last video where he was talking about the grip that social media has on the world, because it's true, and I really enjoyed his thought process behind it. Now, we're going to get right into this. Welcome in if you're new here, and welcome back if you've been here before. Much love to you. I appreciate you guys. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? Now, we're going to get right to this. Stromae, filsdejoie.
Être seul c'est difficile, et là ça fait des années. Et de juger c'est facile, surtout quand on n'y a pas goûté. Le plus dur, bah c'était la première fois. Puis le plus dur, c'est de savoir quand sera la dernière fois. C'est vrai, je suis pas contre un peu de tendresse de temps en temps. Et puis cette fois-ci, ben je pourrais le faire en l'insultant. Oui, tout est négociable dans la vie moyennant paiement. En plus, je suis sûrement son meilleur client. Mais oh, laissez donc ma maman, oui je sais. C'est vrai qu'elle n'est pas parfaite, c'est un héros. Et ce sera toujours fièrement que j'en parlerai, Je suis un fils de pute, comme ils disent. Après tout ce qu'elle a fait pour eux, pardonne leurs bêtises. Oh chère mère, ils te déshumanisent. C'est plus facile, les mêmes te courtisent. Et tout le monde ferme les yeux.
Whoa. Okay. Now, the scale of this video is very intense. It's massive. And to hear those violins racing in the background is very pleasing to the ears. But the things that he's talking about and the way he's saying them. So what I'm getting out of it so far is that we have multiple perspectives here. Because in the first verse, it was the perspective of a client and the best customer, as he refers to himself, of this missing sex worker. But then during the chorus, it's from the perspective of the son of the sex worker. And you can really hear the tone change and how they speak about her. Because the client, while he sees himself as being a good customer, I'm a great customer, and everything has a price, he feels as though that makes it okay to speak down and insult her just because she's trying to do her job. And as long as he's paying her money, that gives him a right to do that. But the son is speaking up, and that's where we have the tonal shift. And he's very stern. Stromae is very boisterous, and the tone of his voice changes everything completely. Speaking up about how proud he is of his mom. No matter how other people look at her, he sees her as a hero. And that is a characteristic to be admired, that no matter what, he's willing to stand by his mom. Wow, okay, I'm really enjoying this concept already. Especially coming at it musically from different perspectives. I love when artists do that. It's very refreshing because it's not something that happens very often. Let's run this back. The magnitude that we're looking at here for this scale is insane.
Être seul c'est difficile, et là ça fait des années. Et de juger c'est facile, surtout quand on n'y a pas goûté. Le plus dur, bah c'était la première fois. Puis le plus dur.
Now, the way he worded that, being judgmental is easy. That is a terrible way to look at things. because that means right away that it's easier for this individual to look down and judge someone rather than it is for them to build them up and help uplift them. And that is not how you want to be.
On n'y a pas goûté. Le plus dur, bah c'était la première fois. Puis le plus dur, c'est de savoir quand sera la dernière fois. C'est vrai, je suis pas contre un peu de tendresse de temps en temps. Et puis cette fois-ci, ben je pourrais le faire en l'insultant. Oui, tout est négociable dans la vie moyennant paiement. En plus, je suis sûrement son meilleur client. Mais oh, laissez donc ma maman, oui je sais. C'est vrai qu'elle n'est pas parfaite, c'est un héros. Et ce sera toujours fièrement que j'en parlerai, que j'en parlerai. Je suis un fils de pute, comme ils disent. Après tout ce qu'elle a fait pour eux, pardonne leurs bêtises. Oh chère mère, ils te déshumanisent. C'est plus facile, les mêmes te courtisent. Et tout le monde ferme les yeux. Pourquoi tout le monde me déteste, alors que c'est moi qui les nourris? Leur vie serait bien plus modeste. Sans moi, elle serait pourrie. Le lit et la sécurité ont un prix, madame. Ben oui, dans la vie, tout se paye. On ne te l'avait donc jamais appris. On m'accuse de faire de la traite d'êtres humains. Mais 50, 40, 30 ou 20%, c'est déjà bien. Faudrait pas qu'elles se prennent un peu trop pour des mannequins. Mesdames, ou devrais-je dire putain? Mais oh, laissez donc ma maman.
And yet another perspective enters the fold here. Now, this would be the perspective of a pimp, someone who is seen as the handler and the one in charge of the whole operation of the ladies of the night. Now, here begins that disgust again. Because although the pimp is seeing himself in a higher light, and he prides himself in holding a higher decree than those beneath him, in which he's referring to the hookers, and don't think of yourself as models, or should I say hookers. So he's demeaning them. He's letting them know that he sees them as less than he is, and demeans their self-worth. Because if they were to think of themselves in a higher light, then he sees that as disrespectful and wants to immediately spit on them and try to knock their self-esteem back down. But then you have the son come back in again and immediately demand respect, especially when that tone hits. That's when you start to, your ears perk up and you pay attention to what he's got to say, because you better not disrespect his mom. But it's interesting because we see this juxtaposition of feelings, and in the client's perspective, the customer, he sees himself as, well, I'm going to go look for a little tenderness from time to time, and that he sees that as okay. But then the person who is providing that tenderness, he thinks it's okay to treat them in a bad manner and look down on them, even though they are doing him a favor. And now we have the pimp also taking advantage of that, in the regard that he sees himself in the stance of he's providing this opportunity and this workplace for them, and they should be grateful because he's giving them job security and he's keeping them safe and a place to live and all the room and board, everything. He thinks he's providing for them. But in reality, the roles are reversed, because they are the ones actually out there putting their lives on the line and risking everything just to provide for their families a little bit of money, because while they're out there working, the pimp is hiding away somewhere and they're doing all the work, not the pimp. So he sees that as giving him the right to treat them terribly and take advantage of that. And since he provides this job security for them, he can take as much money as he wants. 20, 30, 40, 50%, it doesn't matter. He sees himself in that position of power, and it doesn't matter about them because he casts them aside. They're just pawns in his game of chess. Wow. I was not expecting this. This is very well crafted and well thought out. to put these perspectives in here. Stromae is, wow.
Alors que c'est moi qui les nourris, leur vie serait bien plus modeste. Sans moi, elle serait pourrie. Le lit et la sécurité ont un prix, madame. Ben oui, dans la vie, tout se paye. On te l'avait donc jamais appris.
Also, we see that continuation of the money being a theme here, because the reason that we have those sex workers is because they're looking for money. They do that for a job, but then you also pay them, so there's a transaction there. And in the client's perspective, he talked about the price and the money aspect of it, and now the pimp followed through with that. So it's a continuation and a continual theme here.
Ont un prix, madame. Ben oui, dans la vie, tout se paye. On te l'avait donc jamais appris. On m'accuse de faire de la traite d'êtres humains. Mais 50, 40, 30 ou 20%, c'est déjà bien. Faudrait pas qu'elles se prennent un peu trop pour des mannequins. Mesdames, ou devrais-je dire putain? Mais oh, laissez donc ma maman, oui je sais.
Listen to how he commands that respect for his mom right away. Listen to that. As soon as there was a derogatory meaning towards the ladies of the night, he spoke up in his mom's honor. Because she's not there to speak up for herself. He's demanding that respect for her. Listen to his tone as he speaks.
Se prennent un peu trop pour des mannequins. Mesdames, ou devrais-je dire putain? Mais oh, laissez donc ma maman, oui je sais. C'est vrai qu'elle n'est pas parfaite, c'est un héros. Et ce sera toujours fièrement que j'en parlerai. Je suis un fils de pute, comme ils disent. Après tout ce qu'elle a fait pour eux, pardonne leurs bêtises. Oh chère mère, ils te déshumanisent. C'est plus facile, les mêmes te courtisent. Et tout le monde ferme les yeux. Je sais que c'est ton boulot, mais faut bien que je fasse le mien, non? Entre le tien et le mien, la différence c'est que moi je paye des impôts. Allez circuler madame, reprends tes papiers, ce qui te reste de dignité. Pauvre femme, trouve-toi un vrai métier. Mais oh, laissez donc ma maman, oui je sais.
Okay. Now another perspective enters the fold. The police officer. We have someone who is trying to arrest his mom, or someone who may have detained her. And again, they start out and they have this sympathetic feel to it, almost as they all do. And he says, you're trying to do your job, I understand. I'm just trying to do my job. But then the continuation of the theme where they all demean her and speak down on her in disgust. Take back your ID. Go get yourself a real job. You have no dignity, and just speaking down on her, even though she is only trying to make a living and provide for her son. And look who appreciates her. All these people can demean her and talk down on her, but don't disrespect his mom. And he is here to defend her honor. And he has gathered all of these people here. And that is incredible. He's going to make them listen. Wow. This idea is incredible. Because they are trying to dehumanize someone who is also human, just like them. But they're doing it based on the area that they work in or their field that they work in, while they look down on being a lady of the night as demeaning, and it's not seen in a high light. But they see themselves in this higher regard, even though they're all a part of it in one form or another. The client is a customer of hers. The pimp is the one in charge of the operation in which she is included in. And then you have the officer, who also goes into that world as well and kind of intermingles in there. So they remove themselves from this situation in order to dehumanize someone else, and that is putting just complete disregard on humanity and for the other individuals around you. because you don't know what that person has been through in their life that got them to that point that they had to choose that job. And especially coming from someone who watches Law and Order SVU, and I've grown up watching it, and it's one of my favorite shows, the Special Victims Unit, and seeing that play out on television, of course, and it's dramatized, but they are based on real events because these are things that occur in the real world. Now, Stromae has built a fictional world here, and this whole conceptualized piece is a bigger dramatization of what actually occurs, though. It's not far-fetched that people demand respect no matter what their job is in the world. You should respect your fellow man and your fellow human because we're all a part of this world together. And one way or another, we intermingle, we intertwine, and we should be thankful that there are other people out there doing these jobs because you wouldn't put yourself in that position, would you? So why demean somebody else who's trying to provide for their family? Especially after seeing the film Sound of Freedom. It's a really eye-opening experience, and if you haven't seen it, the human trafficking and everything in it is it'll change you when you see that sort of thing. And it's very eye-opening to see this emotion coming out of Stromae. So I'm gonna run it back a little bit.
Je sais que c'est ton boulot, mais faut bien que je fasse le mien, non? Entre le tien et le mien, la différence c'est que moi je paye des impôts. Allez circuler madame, reprends tes papiers, ce qui te reste de dignité. Aux femmes, trouve-toi un vrai métier. Mais oh!
And there's that continuation of money theme being in there too, because he talks about paying taxes and getting a real job. Stromae is really intelligent. He's really smart.
Paye des impôts. Allez circuler madame, reprends tes papiers, ce qui te reste de dignité. Aux femmes, trouve-toi un vrai métier. Mais oh! Laissez donc ma maman, oui je sais. C'est vrai qu'elle n'est pas parfaite, c'est un héros. Et ce sera toujours fièrement que j'en parlerai. Je suis un fils de pute, comme il dit. Après tout ce qu'elle a fait pour eux, pardonne leurs bêtises. Oh chère mère, il te déshumanise. C'est plus facile, les mêmes te bourdisent. Et tout le monde ferme les yeux.
Wow. That was very intense. And very well comprised. The way that he put everything together, especially in this magnitude, this scale. I mean, the whole world building that he put into this and crafted with his mind is astronomical. But he's right. And you see those individuals trying to dehumanize someone, but then under the cover of darkness or wherever it may be behind closed doors, they're also the same individuals who try to court her as well. So as long as there's no one around, they'll take full advantage of the job that she's providing. But if someone sees them, then their tone changes, just like Stromae's did. And as it should, he's defending his mom's honor and taking pride in the fact that his mom is not perfect, but she was a hero to him because she helped him throughout life. Wow, he's got a very beautiful and intelligent mind. And it's very interesting to see these pieces come to life here. And, you know, being someone who lost my mom, the way he's defending his mom is so honorable, and it's a beautiful thing to see and a great characteristic because the lengths he would go to defend her in front of everybody else, that is exactly what I would do. The scale of this was so intense. It's such a beautiful video. All these shots, the whole cinematography of everything, absolutely incredible. I mean, just the choreography and the timing that each individual involved in this video, the choreography of the dancers, everything had to be so on point, and it was. I cannot imagine the amount of rehearsal that went into this piece. I mean, just look at this. It is mind-boggling that this is a music video. Wow. There's nothing else to really say other than like wow. Because the magnitude that he went to put this together should not be forgotten and should not be cast aside. Stromae continues to amaze me. Whew. I really enjoyed that he spoke about the topic that he did, because it is a real topic that should be discussed. It has been discussed before, movies, TV show, and now we see it in music, and that's a very beautiful thing. And it will continue to be talked about, because it is, you know, the dehumanizing of another person based on where they're at in life or their job in life is another plague on the world, and it's not something that's necessary. Just be kind to one another. You don't know why people are doing the things they are or how they came to be in that position. So be kind to one another. I thank you guys for being here, and I appreciate your time. Hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and as I enjoyed this music video. So shout out to Stromae for this beautifully crafted piece, and the music, I really enjoyed that. The violin strings, but thank you very much to the donator as well. I do appreciate that, and if anybody else has any suggestions, they can feel free to drop them down in the comments, or if you would like to make a donation to request something, whether it's from Stromae or another artist or another video that you want me to try and decipher for you, then feel free to donate. It's not required, but it does help out the channel. So either way, I hope that you guys are having a good day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Now, I'm going to get up out of here. It's your boy, Snake Venom, S to the V. Peace.